Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
How's it going, Pete? How you doing? I didn't get any music set up here.
That was quick, man. You had me. Luckily, I wasn't picking my nose or something, doing Aaron Boone behind here.
Yeah, usually we put some kind of a montage or something together, but I didn't want to get people depressed, you know? I mean, it's been a tough year to watch. Yeah. There's not a lot of great highlights other than Aaron Judge, couple of 3-homer games. You had the perfect game, but that guy's in rehab now. I mean, not a great year for highlights.
It's not even injury related too. He's just doing his thing around there. But no, it hasn't been, man. It's watching like your post-mortem video and all that stuff. And I remember Frank even reached out, like, what's highlights that you could think? I'm like, bro, I don't know. Like, I don't know what highlights are this year. It's been a mess of a season for the Yanks, man. And, just before we went on, we said, at least we hope, right, that the offseason is going to be a wild one. So let's buckle up for that at least.
Yeah, so we only have one weekend left of Yankees baseball, and it's going to be sad watching all those other teams play and all those great moments and Bryce Harper hitting.
I'm calling it. I'm calling
it. I'm going to be watching it. I'll probably be doing some on Foul Territory, too. We're going to be doing some recaps and stuff like that, so that'll be fun. But, we will be back. This, you said it great a couple of months ago. You said, even when we're bad, we're still relevant, and the Yankees are – they have the rich guy excuse where, sometimes you get a little complacent, but now you got that rich guy pissed off and he's got the money, so maybe he'll do a little spending this winter.
Let's hope, man. Let's hope he's I made the comparison today of, George Steinbrenner didn't always do what was best. I think in his heart he thought maybe it was correct, but let's hope maybe he has some of those impulses this offseason. Wherever this audit leads, it's funny, too, because I'm laughing about it on All Rise today when they're saying they're going to audit the last 10 years or so of trades. I'm like, man, just go talk to the fans. We'll tell you. We'll tell you how bad the last 10 years of trades have been. So I don't know if it's going to lead to, job loss of the big heads, meaning like Cashman, Boone. I think they're both back next year. But we'll see what happens. I think Fishman is going to be sleeping with the fishes, but what else happens?
Yeah, he's about to be Aquaman there. So, All right. It's a shame we didn't get to meet up at your event last weekend. Yeah. I was really looking forward to that. I know a lot of people from my channel bought tickets too. There's some crossover. A lot of people watch both of us. So I just wanted to kind of open it up for you to explain how people can exchange those tickets real quick. And next year it's April 20th, correct?
April 20th. So here's the deal. I talked to the Yankee manager in sales. He's the one who sets everything up for me. He met me at the stadium. We talked for a while. Everybody's ticket is fine. So here's basically the gist of it. Your ticket is for the Audi Club. What he's going to do is he will bulk move it all to 420. Now, I know some of you might be saying, hey, what if I can't make 420? You can then just call group sales up or whatever it is that you got to call for tickets, and you can move that date to whatever time you like. But if everybody wants to keep their ticket where it is going to automatically move over to the 20th. So I know I got people messaging me, go, hey, my ticket's gone. This is not showing up in MLB app anymore. He said, rest assured, everything is there. Once they go on, they're going to automatically be moved over, and then you'll see the ticket back in there. So the tickets aren't disappearing. They're all there. You're good to go. Hopefully, and the good thing is about 420 is he's like, hey, Pete, I already got you guys booked for like 95 more tickets. So
nice.
We're going to have like 200 plus in there.
Well, I will be there. I am coming.
I expect you to be there, damn it. You're going to be there.
Well, here's the problem. If there's rain in the forecast, I'm not coming. because
please.
So,
I'm so sick of the rain.
Did I tell you about my flight back? Oh, my God, man. So
No, did you have a turbulence flight?
Oh, my God. I thought I was going to make a pit stop in the side of a mountain, my man. So I went ahead because the game got rained out. We found out nice and early. That's good on the Yankees, like 10 in the morning.
Yeah. Once I woke up, by the way, which sucked.
Yeah. I was able to get a flight that day for like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My flight the next day got canceled, and I knew it was going to be bad, so I'm just going to fly back today. I get, just out of I flew out of Newark, and there was zero visibility. So it's like you look out and it's just this gray abyss. I expected to see a freaking gremlin crawling on the wing. People, the whole flight, it's going like this. People are breathing in bags and stuff. The guy next to me is doing the sign of the cross over and over again.
When that happens, is trouble.
Oh my God! So
you know something scary could happen at that point.
Yeah, it was one of those things where usually the flight, the pilot's like, I'm going to take it up to 50,000 and now I'm going to make a left by Chicago. This time he was like, just don't stand up. just stay in your seat.
Oh, man.
It was
Did the flight attendants have to sit down?
Yeah, we didn't get any beverage service.
Yeah.
It was a tough one.
I was about to say, when the flight attendant's like, I got to go buckle up, you're like, all right, here we go. Time to get crazy. You want to get nuts? I'll get nuts.
Let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts.
All right, so we're going to get right into the topic of the kids. I've seen this around the internet today. A lot of this question going around. How would you rate Anthony Volpe's rookie season 1 to 10?
Ooh, 1 to 10. Typically, I do the grade scale. 1 to 10, I'm going to go ahead and say a 5.5.
That's the exact same number I had. Why'd you steal my answer, Pete?
Out of here.
That's the exact same thing I wrote down.
5.5. That's what I would go with. I go with 5.5 all day. It's weird, man, because here's the thing that I see. I get it. It's his rookie. Look, and again, by all means, I say this all the time, right? I feel like Anthony Volpe there's a lot more pros than a lot of the cons there. You could see so much good. You're like, man, if he just does a little adjustment here, he could be a really good ball player. My biggest concern with Volpe is what if next year he bats 208 again?
Yeah.
What if he's a 212 hitter next year? He improves a little bit, but it's 215.
Yeah.
That's not what we expected.
My big concern with Volpe is the strikeouts. He led the team in strikeouts by a lot. And I mean, a lot of that was early in the season, April, May. He was striking out almost every time. But he didn't really improve at the rate that I expected him to. You know, we were saying by July, he's going to be 240. Now, we do have to take into account they didn't have a real hitting coach until the second half.
Correct.
Okay?
Correct.
And he got off to a good start with Sean Casey, but he's kind of regressed a little bit in September. You know, he was hitting about 219 at one point. Now he's down to 207. He's in real danger with a tough weekend of hitting 199.
Last 30, he's hitting like 176. So, and again, man, like, you know, trust me, I want Volpe to be phenomenal. Damn it, the Yankees need him to be good. You know, the Yankees desperately need Anthony Volpe to be a very good ball player. And my concern, again, is just simply that you can't have Anthony Volpe being a low 200 hitter. He can't come back next year and bat under 220. We need Volpe to at least hit 245, 250, 260. If he does that, and on top of that, Derek, look, another thing, the on-base percentage has been terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of, you need Volpe on base. He hasn't done that. So that's the reason why, like, yeah, the power numbers are there. But like I explained this morning, when you got as big as an uppercut swing as he has, you're going to hit some home runs. That's just going to happen. That's a part of it. Defense has been good. The arm is about 82 miles an hour coming out of his hands. Not great. It's below average. But he has amazing range and he's very quick. So he can handle shortstop at this level. But yeah, man, I go 5.5. I would kind of feel not so good to give him a 5 or under a 5. The home run power is there. There's a lot of instincts that you like about him, but that swing needs some sort of adjustment or just an adjustment on 2 strikes.
Yeah. So talking about batting average, I mean, the Yankees had, and this was a stat that Michael K brought up today. The Yankees have had a cleanup hitter that hit under 200 80 times this year. You look at the bottom half of the lineup the whole year, pretty much, it was like 198, 205, 176. They have got to do something to address, you know, just the ability to get hits this winter.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to be agenda item number 1. I'm sure that the kids are going to factor in. Like, we're going to have a decision now, or at least the Yankees will. Which of these kids is going to get better and hit? Which can be moved in a trade? Yeah. So, you know, let's set aside Dominguez because he absolutely tore the cover off the ball and he's going to be injured. He's not going anywhere. Of the other kids, Wells, Pereira, Florial, and Peraza, like, who are you high on and who are you kind of like, I don't know?
I'll be honest, this might sound crazy. The 2 guys I'm actually highest on is Peraza and Wells. And I know that might sound nuts. Everson Pereira, I said it early and I said it for a while. He's really scared me. The reason why I'm so like, whoa, like blown away by him in many ways is Everson Pereira tore the cover off of the ball in AA. Did it in AAA. But he's come to the majors and it's like, what? Whoa, what? Like, who is this? What's going on here? Like, out of all the guys, he's looked very, very much overmatched. I have my concerns about Peraza. The reason why I like Peraza so much, I love his swing. I just feel like as he gets more and more reps, you're going to see a guy become more comfortable, and he's just going to be that type of hitter that can hit up easily. I believe he could bat over 260 easy. No doubt with that level type swing, the speed he has, I like him a lot. Austin Wells, I'm very high on Austin Wells. He's really impressed me. And I get it. I get people are going to harp on it. He's hitting under 200, Pete. Come on now.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of good. He's showing that he has power at this level. He's showing that he has elite framing. His framing is phenomenal. He showed he could block balls in the dirt. He showed that pitchers like to pitch to him. His arm isn't great. Okay, those are things you can work around and put in the pregame plans and things of that nature to figure out how to help him the most. Anthony Volpe's going to be back, so I don't really put him on there. But Derek, I'll tell you another guy who I think deserves a somewhat of a continued longer look. Estevan Floriela's looked pretty good.
Yeah.
He's had good at-bats. Strikeout rates down at the major league level. He's had nice at-bats. Not a starter. I don't think he's a starter, but instead of Kiermaier, why would you want Kiermaier? Just throw him in center field.
Well, yeah, I heard about the Kiermaier thing, too. And I'm not entirely opposed to Kiermaier, but I think you could run Florial out there. He's probably impressed me more than anybody on the list because it feels to me like he's almost playing with, I got nothing to lose, right? I was already DFA'd once. Yep. You know, nobody's going to trade for me. You know, this is my chance to just go out there and relax and have fun. I like that he's being aggressive on the bases, even though he got thrown out a couple of times. He's shown great speed. His defense has always been lauded in the minor leagues. And Michael Kay said today he doesn't take great routes. I think he's okay. I think he looks fine. You know, we've seen some bad routes. I mean, he looks okay. Better than IKF in center field. Come on.
No question. Yeah, I actually, it's funny because I agree with Michael Kay a little bit on that. There's been a couple of times where he seems to get a bad read, but his speed is so good and he accelerates very quick and he's able to make up for it. It's the same thing people said about Dominguez is that he takes bad routes, but his speed makes up for it. And that's the thing about Flo that I'm not too concerned about. All I want to see him do these last 3 games is hit a homer or two. That's all I want to see him do. Yeah. Hit a homer or two and do something like that. I think that would be absolutely awesome.
I'd like to see Pereira go deep this weekend, man. Right now, he's the guy at the top of my trade list of the rookies that we have. I think Austin Wells, to me, has become an untouchable because he's shown that he has left-handed power, like real left-handed power, like opposite field left-handed power, something the Yankees don't have. Look, I think the guys who are most likely to be on the roster next year are probably Wells and Peraza. I'm not convinced that the Yankees are going to stick with Florial, even though we like him. You know, Kiermaier's out there for a 1-year deal. He's a name. He's an established left-handed hitter who can play defense. I think that's the kind of move that Cashman or Hal Steinbrenner would make and just be, hey, we needed an outfielder. We needed some outfield depth. Yeah. But I think you could save some money and just run with Florial and use that money to get somebody like a Yamamoto or, you know, whether it's Bellinger. So that being said, I put out a video this week of, you know, the 7 biggest targets that I could think of. I probably could have included Josh Hader in that list and made it 8. But it was Snell, Yamamoto, Jordan Montgomery. It was Bellinger, Jung-Hoo Lee, 5. Who else we got? I'm scratching my head here. Anyway, who are your guys? Who are your 2? Let's say you get 2, you get 2 that you can pursue aggressively, and you have to let the Wolves take the rest.
Oh, Bellinger and Yamamoto, not even close.
Really?
I mean, yeah, of course, 100%. Bellinger and Yamamoto all day. Of course, Soto's not in that category because he's not a free agent, but those 2 guys, no doubt about it. That's the way to go. I mean, look, if you want to if the Yankees want to make a statement, that's the way to make a statement right there. That's how you do it.
So let's suppose that Soto is available via trade. Let's say that the Padres are going to cut some payroll. Yeah. They're losing Snell, they're losing Hader probably, so that's going to be some money. But they probably going to want to clear another $25 million. What's the easiest way to do that? Move Juan Soto, and they can get a boatload back. And I would practically unload the system for Juan Soto at this point. But look, I don't know if it's realistic. Everybody's going to be going after him, but would he be, if he was available, would he supplant Bellinger on that list?
Hell yes, yeah, no doubt about it. And I'm a fan of Bellinger, but the one thing about Soto to me that, God, I just keep thinking about it. I'm like, that Soto Judge back and forth, man. You got to have that. You got to be able to go about that and have that. I don't care what it takes. It's not going to cost a Dominguez. It's not going to cost anything like that, in my opinion. But the Yankees have enough to get a deal done. I obviously understand there's going to be a lot of other teams out there that are going to look to make that type of deal. I get that. I understand that. But in my opinion, there's no doubt about it. Soto ranks higher to me than Bellinger. Look, you're also going to be paying for all of his prime plus and his youngest years. You don't always get that with a free agent. Mm-hmm. Not always do you get that with a free agent where you go, hey, guy's 24 years old. Let's lock him in long term. You don't get that all the time. So if I'm willing to pay for somebody and know it's going to cost a boatload, there's a couple of things I'm looking at in the business, on a business standpoint of it. One, of course, is how much it's going to cost me. And two, is this guy going to make me money? There's going to be nobody out there than Soto and Yamamoto that would make the New York Yankees more money.
Ohtani.
Nobody. Ohtani maybe, but I'll be honest, I'm not high on Ohtani at all coming to New York. No, I don't want him.
I mean, talking about making money, the guy's a walking billboard.
100%.
I mean,
no question. I think Yamamoto is going to be roughly the same deal, especially if he's good. I mean, if that guy comes here and he's able to dominate, the way he's doing in Japan, you can make a case he's the greatest pitcher to ever come out of Japan based on stats over there. If he's able to do anything like that over here, sign me up. Sign me up quick.
So I think we're pretty much aligned. We're working from the same notes here that Yamamoto is a must. Like you cannot lose out. You cannot lose out to the Mets on Yamamoto. No. The Yankees' problem this season was mainly offense, but the pitching has been kind of rattled too. You need to shore up that rotation so that you have time to focus on other shit, right?
Correct.
Back up the Brinks truck for Yamamoto. Give him literally whatever he asked for. Whatever he asked for. If he says, I want 10 years, $300 million, guess what? That's what you're getting. I think they might have to be creative on offense. I don't know that they're going to sign Bellinger. I think they probably want to sign Bellinger, and they're definitely not going to ignore him or whatever, but there's going to be some competition for him, and I think they're going to be hesitant to hand out two massive contracts. So a trade for Soto might be the creative way. And you can move a Pereira. You can move some of these guys. How would you feel about trading somebody like a Spencer Jones, who is kind of he's like near the brink, but if he has to go for Juan Soto, then I'm sorry, but he has to go.
Oh, yeah, you don't even think about it. I mean, I'm a fan of Spencer Jones. I was very, very high in him. I still am. But, yeah, man, there's no denying it. If they call you up and they go, look, Spencer Jones got to be a part of that deal, you spit your coffee out and go, what else do you want? Let's figure this deal out right now and get it done with. That's exactly what we got to do, and get it done. There's no way in the world that you hold up a deal for Soto for anybody not named Jason Dominguez or maybe even Anthony Vaughn. I don't know. I really don't know. And I know that's going to sound crazy to people. I don't know. I think you'd have to get with your best baseball people and go, look, is this guy going to improve?
Yeah. We got a super chat here. Hey, let's get to the super chat real quick. So Volpe, this is NYY News, numero Ruben, says, phone died in the middle of typing. Volpe, I think, hit a physical wall playing 40 games more than usual, and Florial hitting 260 average now with 356 on base percentage. Yeah. Look, we talked about Florial. He looks better. You also have to be aware of the small sample size there. The league, last time he was up, threw him nothing but changeups and breaking balls. He seems to be doing a better job laying off those pitches. Mm-hmm. That's the key. If he can continue to do that, he can play. But we got to, like you said, we got to see some more pop. Now back to Soto. The only player literally in the system other than Judge and Dominguez that I would not, I phrased that wrong. There's no player other than Judge and Dominguez and Cole probably that I wouldn't trade for Juan Soto. Yeah, those are my three like core pieces. I would give them Spencer Jones. I'd give them our top 5 prospects. I'd give them anything they want other than Dominguez and Judge and Cole.
I've seen people on Twitter and stuff go, "Oh, he doesn't move the needle." I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Like, that is everything that the New York Yankees need in their lineup. Like, where have we gone to that for some reason we feel that reinventing the wheel is the right way to go? When the Yankees have always had something that has worked. Get lefties in the bat, get lefties up. You got to have multiple lefties in that lineup. You have power lefty bats. You got average and on-base percentage. Build that up again. Yes, not everybody in the lineup needs to hit 280. I understand that. I get that. But you need some of those guys in there. You need 1 or 2 or 3 guys in there could bat above 260. Build them around your Judge. Build them around Soto. Whoever that leadoff hitter then becomes, or however you want to mess around with the lineup. Austin Wells is a lefty. Maybe he doesn't go in that deal. You still got a lefty catcher. You're still going to have to go with youth because here's the other thing that people got to remember. No matter what you trade for Soto, you got to re-sign him. So you're going to need cost-effective players in there. And that is typically your younger players. So whoever you don't trade in that deal, whether it's some of those guys that are already up now that we've talked about already, they probably got to get a starting spot somewhere. Yeah. And then you build around that.
Jack Arnold says, what about Volpe for Soto? In a second.
Straight up?
I'd imagine you'd have to include Volpe with at least a couple of top prospects, too, to get him. I mean,
I'm sorry, but I still do it because, again, I just bring up the point. What if Volpe hit 210 next year?
And Peraza's looked good at short. Did you see the throw he made the other night? Effortless. Going into the whole effort. So I had the thought the other night watching Peraza play shortstop. You know that meme where the guy's walking with his girlfriend and he's kind of looking back at the other chick? Yeah. I was picturing like Volpe on the right and Peraza on the left. My shortstop. I didn't make the meme, but I probably should have. But he just looks so great and effortless at shortstop. Yep. I still think Volpe at second base would be the best middle infield in the league defensively. Yep. And then Gleyber Torres, I mean, if you keep him around, he would be a hell of a DH, which means you got to figure out something to do with Stanton. Is there anything that you can imagine that they can do with Stanton? I mean, I don't see him DFAing him, but it could. I mean, it depends on how pissed Hal Steinbrenner is. You want to show us you're pissed? DFA's Giancarlo Stanton.
There's no doubt about it. Like if there was a way to show the fan base, and it's like, hey guys, look at me over here. Look what I just did. If you're able to do that by being like, Stanton's gone, everybody's going to be like, whoa, he just did that? Hold on a second. Wow, he just really did that. Like that would be the most telling thing that you can ever see in a Yankee offseason. But again, I mean, I look at it in every which way possible. I don't know how. I do not know how the Yankees move him.
Yeah,
I just don't know how it's even possible.
The only way you're going to do it is to eat the money and just release him. And even trading him somewhere, I don't think you can eat enough money to trade him somewhere. I don't think anybody has use for that type of player anymore.
I think the only other thing you could possibly do is honestly just sit down with him and be like, hey, man, look, you're not going to be starting no more. Yeah. Like, we got to utilize you maybe against lefties, but I mean, look, he doesn't have a leg, no pun intended. He doesn't have a leg to stand on when it comes to his stats. They're terrible. Derek, would you argue that he might be one of the worst players in baseball right now?
I mean, he's got a negative WAR value, so he's worse than bringing up an average player from the minor leagues. He's the stats don't lie. I mean, he's hitting 190. I mean, sure, he hits the ball very far when he connects. But he just doesn't hit the ball enough. I mean, he whiffs.
Is under 700. I mean, it's not even like he's doing that enough.
And he's going in the wrong direction. And what's weird is he was the MVP of the All-Star game last year.
That's right.
Like, he went from MVP of the All-Star game to everybody saying he should be released in a year and a half. I don't understand it. For a 32-year-old guy who looks like he does, can you imagine being that slow? I mean, I'm confident. Look, we spend a lot of time sitting at the computer doing podcasts.
Yeah.
I could beat Giancarlo Stanton in a goddamn foot race.
Easy.
Wouldn't be close.
No question about it. Yeah, I don't even think it will be close. Stanton is the poor guy. Again, I see what he is right now, and I'm like, man, what is he in 2 years? Does he crawl on the field to get on that? Does he roll to the plate? I mean, seriously, and again, I hate knocking the guy on that, but again, right there, I mean, no one's taking Stanton. You got to think about that too, because people, just trade him. Who wants him? And on top of that, he has to accept the trade.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of hurdles to get around there. I think it's like what you said. If Steinbrenner comes out and is like, guys, I mean business, Giancarlo Stanton has been DFA'd, I'm going to be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, buckle up, folks.
We're going to know right away what kind of offseason this is. I mean, you can't sit around on your hands and wait for February for the guys who didn't get invited to anybody else's spring training again. That's not going to cut it. Yeah. This year, the Yankees have got to come out swinging. I got to read a quick ad, and then we're going to have one more question, and then we're going to wrap it up, and Pete's got his game season live, and I got some food on the way. NYY Recaps sponsored by Game Time, the fastest-growing ticket app in the world. Download the Game Time app to your phone or other smart device, or visit gametime.co to get your last-minute tickets to all your favorite types of events, baseball, other sports. I even saw a rodeo on there. They got theater, they got concerts, all that shit. Use the code NYY Recaps for $20 off your first purchase. Game Time. Lowest price on last-minute tickets, guaranteed. All right, final question. What do you do about Rizzo? Do you think that they can count on him? We said how important it was for him to come back and show us something in September. He obviously didn't come back. Do you make a plan for first base? Do you just count on DJ LeMahieu to be your backup first baseman? I mean, how do you handle this situation? Do you just kind of pray that Rizzo, because I don't think hope is a strategy, as Lori Seed likes to say.
Yeah, and I don't even think you could. I mean, maybe you could trade him, but he probably got more hope of being traded than Stanton does, no doubt about it. But I don't know how you can sit back and go, this is one of those off seasons where you got to have as many sure things as possible. And I know nothing is a sure thing, but you got to have so many spots that you're looking at, be like, you know what? This guy's going to have that type of year again. You can't really look at it and go, can Rizzo see? You know what I mean? Like, what's his reaction like? Like, you got to throw a baseball directly at his face in spring training when he's not even looking. Just to be like, does he have a reaction? Like, I don't know, man. I'm very, very concerned. I'm very concerned about what he's going to be, if he could even do it or not. I got no idea, truly.
I know he's 35 years old or 34 years old, whatever he is. I don't think he's going to get just suddenly better. And it's not typical that somebody who's a veteran would do this, but I would say to Rizzo, go play winter ball. If you don't hit 350 or 400 against these hacks, you're done. You go out there and you win the batting title, go destroy the Arizona Fall League for 3 weeks. Show us something.
Go to the Dominican League and face Octavio Dotel. He's still throwing 72 mile-an-hour changeups down there. So
I thought he was in prison.
I don't know. One of those guys. He might be the guy. I don't know.
This guy here is dead. All right, guys. Pete, it's been a fun season coming on every Friday. I'm hoping that we can count on you to come back on with regular cadence next year.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure all that shit out in the offseason. I don't even know if I'm going to do every game next year. It depends a lot on what the Yankees do this winter. Yeah. If they sit on their hands and they say, well, look, we're running it back with 8 righties on opening day, it's like, well, we're doing series recaps now, folks. All right, guys. We'll see ya when we see ya. And I'll be back tomorrow after tomorrow's game. No recap tonight. And ball game over.
Most impressive.